I couldn't help but think about the Travis Tritt song on my way in here today about it's a great day to be alive, right? It's a beautiful day out here in this beautiful city of Kaiser that we all get to call home. At this beautiful venue, hosted here for us by the Moose Lodge, to honor these three beautiful ladies surrounded here today by their beautiful friends and families. And we're all gathered here today to celebrate the 33rd celebration of the Katherine Church Awards ceremony. Amaya, Michaela, Sydney, you guys are all so deserving of this award, and it's nothing short of a testament to your character, your effort, and your citizenship with your fellow citizens at Kaiser High School. And you guys are the reason we're here today. Before we get started, I'd like to ask all of you to silence your phones, please. I see you over there, Logan. Make sure it's silent. And I will turn it over to Dinah Courier to begin the festivities with our invocation.
Let us pray. Gracious and merciful God, tonight we give you thanks that we can gather as a community to recognize the achievements of three outstanding young women. We thank you for parents, teachers, coaches, guidance counselors, and school personnel who have shaped the lives of not only these young ladies, but countless of students as well. Give us the strength, the wisdom, and the resolve to continue to work to make our community a place that provides opportunities for all of our youth. Thank you for all of your blessings, and now especially for this food, that we may be strengthened to do your will. And in your name we pray. Amen.
Of the United States of America. And at this time, I would like to introduce Mineral County Assistant Superintendent, Ms. Kelly Wilson.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to be here representing Mr. Troy Ravenscroft, Superintendent. He sends his regrets, but he's at a superintendent's meeting in Bridgeport for the remainder of the week, so you're stuck with me. This program actually means a lot to me. My dad was a longtime active member of Kaiser Rotary and was on the board when this award was initiated. At that time, I was a fresh new teacher at Kaiser High School, and when he asked me if I wanted to go, I absolutely said yes. So over the years, I've missed very few of these programs, and to attend for him tonight is an honor. In 2011, I even got to see my future niece and the mom of the two most beautiful little girls in the entire world, Carly Burns at the time, be honored as a nominee. I didn't know her at the time or what an important part of my life that she would become. And I do have pictures of those two beautiful girls on my cell phone for anybody who would like to see them. This evening we gather to celebrate three exceptional young women, Amaya Bartlett, Micaiah Gillespie, and Sydney Lannon. They've not only conquered the classroom, but have also graced the fields, the courts, the tracks with their exceptional talent and dedication. They most certainly epitomize the true spirit of scholar athletes. Their commitment is evident in the classroom, where they've pursued knowledge and with determination, but it doesn't stop there. On the field, they've displayed a level of skill and sportsmanship that inspires us all. They've poured their hearts into their respective sports, pushing themselves beyond limits and embracing discipline and learning invaluable lessons that only sports can teach. In their pursuit of excellence, they've embodied the ideals of teamwork, perseverance, and leadership. They've shown us that success isn't just about individual achievement, but lifting each other up, pushing each other forward, and growing together as a team. Today, as we honor these exceptional young women, let us not only celebrate their achievements, but also recognize the countless hours of hard work, sacrifice, and dedication they have brought them to this moment. Let us applaud their resilience in the face of challenges, their unwavering determination, and their commitment to excellence. I'd also like to take a moment to honor their families who have supported them through the first 18 years of their life by attending every game and most practices, rain or shine. You are their guiding light and a safe place for them always to come home to. To Amaya, Michaela, and Sydney, your journey is an inspiration to us all. May you continue to shine brightly, both on and off the field. May your passion, dedication, and commitment to excellence continue to light the way for others. Congratulations, ladies, and I look forward to seeing where your path leads you.
It is now my pleasure to introduce the principal of Kaiser High School, Dr. Matt Ravenscroft.
Good evening. On behalf of Kaiser High School administration, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Rotary of Kaiser and specifically Donna Courier and Tricia Schultz for their efforts to make this event a reality, and also to the Moose Lodge for providing the facility and meal for this evening. Thank you. This is my 19th year in education, and as much as it pains me to say it, it's always been true that female students are more mature, intelligent, and have more leadership capabilities than their male counterparts. To the three Ed Kelly nominees, I apologize, but it's true. Tonight, we hear about their accomplishments, but they are much more than grades, GPAs, and athletics. What I see at Kaiser High School are three caring, empathetic leaders with a positive attitude who work to set an example for others in our school. Our school mission at KHS is to build leaders through learning experiences. And this is an unattainable goal without student leadership. We need students like Amaya, Michaela, and Sydney to set the examples for others to follow, and more importantly, to create discretionary followership. I've witnessed this with all three in our school, and also with Amaya in volleyball matches, Michaela in volleyball, basketball, and softball, and with Sydney in cheerleading and as a mat mate in wrestling. Athletics is a crucial aspect of the high school experience because it provides leadership opportunities for students, and no team is successful without it. In education, we as a community invest time and resources to ensure that our students are prepared when they leave for college or career, and you three have been a wonderful and worthwhile investment. But we aren't prideful enough to think that we are the sole reason our students succeed. We get 7.5 hours a day for 180 days a year to educate students, and the rest is a direct result of their families and their efforts. Empirical studies have found that you are 90% of who they will be as adults, and we try to do the best we can and not screw up with the 10% we get. I'd like to formally thank our three families for doing such a wonderful job raising these three young ladies. And let us also use this opportunity to recognize those individuals who have invested their time, energy, and frankly, lots of money into helping these three nominees achieve their goals and excel in the classroom and in athletics. Would all the families, coaches, and teachers who have invested in our nominees please stand and be recognized. You help these young ladies stand up. Thank you for all you have done to make them successful and for the opportunity you provided us to educate them. Ladies, I'm proud of you. Please continue to be leaders in your families, in your occupations, and whatever communities you may reside. And frankly, I hope it is our community. Thank you.
Again, welcome to the 33rd anniversary of the Katherine Church Award. Can't hear? Try again. Again, welcome. Anything? Okay. Again, welcome to the 33rd anniversary of the Katherine Church Award. Before we continue with our program, will you please join me in thanking Kaiser Moose Lodge 662 and the women of the kitchen staff for this wonderful meal and for preparing the tables. Ladies? Thank you. Kaiser Rotary would also like to thank Kaiser High School and express our appreciation to Dr. Ravenscroft and all of the folks at the high school who helped to make this program possible. Nearly all of you here tonight are here to support these three outstanding young women who have been nominated for this prestigious award. But before we go on, I thought it might be a good idea if we recognize the 6 young women. Maybe some aren't feeling quite as young as others, but the people who were nominees or recipients of this award. First, in 1992, our very first year, Stacy McClintock. Stacy. In 1999, Mariah Miller. 2011, Carly Wilson. 2020, Marissa Guy. And from 2024, Maddie Fisher and Riley Staggs. I don't know if anyone slipped in. I don't want to miss anyone. Okay. We're also honored to have with us tonight the nominees for the Ed Kelly Award, the recipient, Logan Rotruck, and nominees Jack Stanislazik and Drew Matley. We would also like to welcome some folks from Kaiser High School, assistant principals Mrs. Droppelman and Ms. Dupree. Guidance counselor Jen Jordan. And we have coaches from volleyball, Brian Kestner and Megan Hoover. No. And from cheer, Chelsea Ross and Tina Stephen. Oh, I missed her, sorry. This award would not be possible without the continued support of the Kaiser Rotary. They don't just come to the dinner and sit around, but you've probably all been approached by Rotarians to buy a duck for the duck race or to come to the fall fundraiser. All of those events that Kaiser Rotary sponsors go into our foundation, and through the foundation we're able to provide scholarships which will be applied to these young ladies' financial aid packages. So would all the members of the Kaiser Rotary stand and be recognized? Well, let's go back to the beginning of this award. I know some of you have heard this before, but it always bears repeating. During the 1991 Rotary presidency of David Fritsch, a group of men began discussions concerning the fact that young women at Kaiser High School were excelling in athletics, academics, and community service. However, there was no award that recognized them or paralleled the Ed Kelly Award. So in the spring of 1992, under the leadership and direction of Dr. Joseph Grotto, Kaiser Rotary and Kaiser High School initiated plans for such an award. They even surprised themselves that they were able to award in that spring. Unfortunately, Dr. Grotto passed away in 2021, but his foresight is celebrated in this award. One question that had to be answered before this could all take place: for whom should the award be named? Well, the choice for Kaiser Rotarians was obvious: Katherine Church. Katherine juggled a number of roles with grace and determination. She was the wife of Ernest Church, who served as president of Potomac State College for over 30 years. She was a gracious hostess and helpmate to him, but she was so much more. She was the first to tell you, as I've said before, that she did not have an athletic bone in her body, but she did possess the qualities that Rotary wanted to honor: determination, ultimate use of her talents, dedication to a task, and community service. Katherine endeared herself to Rotarians by playing the piano for our weekly meetings when we used to actually sing. Although she said we were the worst singers she'd ever heard, she still loved us. She could not actually become a Rotarian herself because Rotary did not have the foresight to admit women until the late 1980s. So up till that time, wives of Rotarians were called Rotarians. And Katherine proudly bore that title. And before she went into the nursing home, she gave me a number of her Rotary Ann pins, which I cherish very much. Despite not being able to be a member, Katherine believed in and supported the ideals of Rotary. When Katherine became a Rotarian herself, she said that she finally felt like all the things that she had talked about and believed in, that she could present in different ways in her music. And she said she actually, even though she was an accomplished musician, felt more confident after she became a Rotarian. She was a leader in music education, and whenever Katherine and a piano or an organ were in a room together, chances are there was music being made. Now, I know most of you associate Katherine Church, that picture back there, as a white-haired older woman who played the piano and the organ at the Presbyterian Church for 50 years. But I can attest that she was much more than that. She had a devilish sense of humor once you got to know her. She was a lifelong learner and an inquisitive traveler. Her dedication to community service guided her steps throughout her life. Each year, the faculty of Kaiser High School selects 3 candidates who fulfill the academic, citizenship, and athletic requirements set by Kaiser Rotary. Based on a resume and an essay, the current board of directors of Rotary then selects the recipient. This year, Rotary is proud to announce that each of the nominees will receive a $2,000 scholarship, again applied to her college financial aid. All of you have your programs, and you can look on the back and see some of the young women who have been nominated for this award, and you can see that you are in good company. Again, the first award was in 1992, And Stacy, there you are with Mrs. Church. We were a bunch of proud Rotarians. Well, I wasn't a proud Rotarian yet. I don't think they were barely letting women in, so I hadn't cracked that ceiling yet. But anyway, and then we have the 2021 nominees, because we wanted to show the three young ladies here the people who had been nominated while they were in high school. So in 2021, Carly Delsignore, Jenny Breedlove, and Sierra Hester. And then from 2022, Avery Smith, Hannah Felton, and Alexa Shoemaker. And from 2023, we've already met two of our young ladies, Maddie Fisher, Olivia Oudelman, and Riley Staggs. So you can see that you are in good company. So now let us learn a little bit more about our three nominees. And I'd like for you to stand and have your parents stand when I call your name. Amaya Bartlett. Amaya's parents are Maria DeLillo and Randolph Bartlett. And there she is. She has maintained a GPA of 3.5 and has completed AP History and Literature, as well as dual classes through Potomac State College. She was named a National Society of High School Scholars and a Promise Scholar. She's participated in volleyball for 4 years and basketball for 2 years. She's participating in track her senior year. She's also been involved in the Chick-fil-A Leadership Academy and was a representative to West Virginia Rhododendron Girls State. She's been active in school clubs. She serves as an Aubrey Stewart ambassador. She's volunteered in the community with Cinderella's Closet, Helping Hands, and as a lector and greeter at Assumption Catholic Church. Next year, Amaya plans to attend Potomac State College and major in elementary education. Amaya Bartlett. Michaela Gillespie. Michaela is the daughter of Brian and Shelley Rhodes. She has a cumulative GPA of 4.0, is a member of the National Honor Society, as well as Math, Science, and Technical Honor Societies. She's a Goldsworthy Scholar and an Emerging Leaders Scholarship recipient. She's active in Mineral County FFA and has earned the Green Hand Pin and chapter degree. She's a member of DECA and Skills USA. Michaela has been active in Key Club, Student Council, and Kaiser Crazies. She's participated in basketball, volleyball, and softball for 4 years. She's volunteered with numerous community activities, including Energy Express, the Apple Harvest Festival, blood drives, and the Angel Tree. Michaela plans to attend Davis and Elkins College and major in nursing. Michaela Gillespie. Sydney Lannon. Sydney is a daughter of Jennifer Parrish and Bobby Lannon. She has maintained a 4.0 GPA. She's a Goldsworthy Scholar and a Promise Scholar, and a member of the National and Math Honor Societies. She's been a member of the cheerleading squad, which placed first in the 23-24 PVC competition. She's a member of Key Club, Student Council, Drama Club, the Teacher Cadet Program, and yearbook staff. She's volunteered with Rotary's Breakfast with Santa and Math Field Day. She's also volunteered at the Gridiron Carnival, as well as with many other volunteer activities. She too plans to attend Potomac State and major in business management. Sydney Lannon. Last year, Kaiser Rotary presented a new plaque to Kaiser High School containing the names of the previous recipients. This year's recipient's name has been engraved on the plaque, and the plaque reads, Katherine Church Award presented to the student who excels in academics, athletics, and community service by the Rotary Club of Kaiser. And the 2024 name on this is Sydney Lannon. Okay. Okay, take a deep breath.
Thank you. Bear with me, this feels unreal right now. Good evening, friends, family, and other distinguished guests. It still feels unreal that I can be standing before you tonight as a nominee for such a prestigious award. I would like to start by giving a huge thank you to the Kaiser Rotary Club for keeping this award alive, Moose Lodge 662 for providing hospitality tonight, the Mineral County Board of Ed, and Superintendent Troy Ravenscroft, and our fill-in for tonight. I want to also thank our principal, Dr. Matthew Ravenscroft, and our two assistant principals, Ms. Christine Droppelman and Ms. Alicia Dupuis, and the KHS faculty and staff for always being so loving and supportive and truly showing me the meaning of what Kaiser Pride is supposed to be. Most importantly, I would like to thank God for giving me the biggest blessing of being nominated for this award. I would also like to take the time to congratulate Amaya and Michaela for their nominations. They are the two most deserving girls, and I'm so proud of them. Amaya, we went to dance at age 2, and I would like to apologize for being way too shy to say anything to you and awkwardly just looking at you when you tried to talk to me. Who knew that 17-year-old us would be standing in this room as a Katherine Church Award nominee? I'm so thankful to call you one of my forever best friends, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I'm so proud of you, all your accomplishments and all the battles you face that nobody knows about. I love you. Michaela, I started cheer with you, and you were always the comedian in the room, and I always knew that you were going to be so talented and you were going to go so far in life. As a 3-sport athlete, I don't know how you do it. I'm so proud of you, and I cannot wait to see you become a nurse someday. I love you. Now, bear with me. I have a lot of people to thank for getting me up here tonight. And most of them cannot be here tonight, but I know they're watching. Grace, you are my best friend, and I cannot thank you enough for sticking by me through all my ups and downs and getting me through all life's battles. I'm so proud of the person you've become, and no matter how far you move next year, don't forget that you can still call or text me anytime. Lily, thank you for being the girl that never made me feel judged when I'm around, and I know I can always be myself. You're the most trustworthy person I've ever met, and I'm so excited I got to spend all my years of cheer and dance with you. I'm so proud of you, and I cannot wait to see where you end up. Jenna, thank you for being the person who understands me. Whenever I couldn't put something into words, you always knew what I needed and how to fix it. Sometimes I think we are the same person, and I'm always proud of you. Carmen, thank you for getting me through every day with all the laughs. You're the best person to be around, and I'm so happy I got close with you this year. Avery Smith, thank you for being the sweetest girl I've ever met. You helped me through so much, and I'm so proud of the person you are today. I could never thank you enough for everything. Marissa Guy, I think of you as an older sister I never had. You always believed in me, and that pushed me to be my best. When I wrote this speech, I didn't know if you were going to be here tonight or not, but I knew you were cheering me on either way. Both Marissa and Avery I look up to most as role models for not being only recipients of the Katherine Church Award, but just their overall character. Next, I want to go to the Adams, Jared, Jess, Carson, and Aiden. Thank you for being like family. You guys were always the most supportive and uplifting people. You all have a heart of gold and always made me feel like I was worth something. Next, I want to get to the Rhodes, Eli, Lisa, Maddie, and Hannah. Thank you for always being up for an adventure and helping me through any problem I had. I know you'll always have my back, and I'm so grateful for people like you in my life. Colin and Amber Road Truck, thank you for always having open arms for me and believing in me. I promise I will still help you guys with homecoming week whenever you need me. I think of you guys as family, and nothing could ever repay me for all of your kindness and encouragement. Next, I want to go to the Lillers and the Evans. Thank you for always welcoming me into your family and helping me with anything and everything. You guys are my bonus family, and I can never thank you enough for always being so supportive. I would now like to give recognition to the staff members who have made an impact on my journey. I would like to start at KPS with Miss Katie and Miss Rhonda. My younger self was so scared to start my first day of kindergarten. You guys welcomed me with open arms and started my love for learning. I will never forget the days that you let us chew bubble gum as a reward for getting our spelling words right, leaving me feeling like I was the coolest kid in the world for being allowed to chew gum in class. From KMS, I would like to thank Mrs. Ridgel. You made my transition to middle school so much easier than I anticipated. Thank you for always providing me with a fun learning environment, and I know that my nickname will forever be Sparkles to you. Mrs. Nestor, thank you for always being so caring and teaching me that learning another language could actually be fun. Although I never knew what you were saying half the time, you would make sure I'd know by the end of the class period. Moving on to KHS, I would like to start with Coach Staggers. I know I never had you in class, but thank you for always sticking up for me when I wasn't there to defend myself. Thank you for always believing in me and inspiring me to be a better person every day. Also, thank you for convincing me to never drop out of GT and encouraging me to come back every year. Miss Stephanie Stevens, thank you for giving me the opportunity to get the experience in the teaching field to help me decide what my next step should be. Also, thank you for teaching me how to cook, sorta. I think I'm better off just making a cup of mac and cheese. I think of you as a best friend and a teacher at the same time. Mrs. Blow and Mr. Steckman, thank you for allowing me to intern in your class this year. You've taught me how to handle unfortunate situations and real-life problems. Kelly Grubbs and Jess Foster, thank you for putting a smile on my face as soon as I walk through the doors in the morning. You always made me feel so loved, and I know I can always talk to you about anything and everything. Mrs. Hebner, I really got to know you this year, and I'm so happy that I get to have you 2 blocks in a row. Thank you for never yelling at our back table when we have our crazy ideas. Mr. Miller, thank you for being the only teacher that actually made math a little fun. Thank you for being patient with me when I don't understand the simplest problems and walking me through it before I have a mental breakdown. Mrs. Stan, thank you for providing me with so many opportunities in Key Club and being an overall amazing person. Thank you for all the advice and allowing me to just talk to you about stuff going on in my life. You were always so kind and supportive. Mr. Whiteman, thank you for being one of the biggest role models in my life. Your class changed me for the better, and I would not even be up here being able to get through this speech right now without you. You pushed me out of my comfort zone and made me want to become more involved with my school. Miss Jordan and Mr. Denny, thank you for always getting me into the classes I wanted, even when they're full, or changing my classes a week into the new semester. Also, thank you for the advice guiding me through life. They will stick with me forever. Mrs. Umstadt, thank you for providing me with endless opportunities and being one of the best English teachers I've ever had. Even on the days we were reading Wuthering Heights and I had no idea what was happening, you still made class fun and got me prepared for college for sure. I'm so lucky I got to have you as my teacher, and I'm going to miss you so much. Mrs. Powell, thank you for always being so kind to me and always guiding me in the right direction. Whether it was Key Club, fixing my computer, or just talking about something random, you always had an answer. Deputy Rumor, thank you for always brightening my day with a story or a funny joke, even if it was just you picking on me. Karen McRoby, thank you for being one of the kindest people ever and listening to all of my problems. I know I could always come to you, whether it was about a problem or just me coming down to buy a peanut butter meltaway. Missy Guy, thank you for being my second mom. On the days I felt like the world was ending, you picked up the pieces and put them back together. I knew you were the person who always had faith in me and encouraged me to do big things in life. And thank you for convincing me to give mat mating a try. My favorite thing will always be our talks. Next, I would like to recognize all the people who have helped me in my athletic journey. Chelsea, thank you for always pushing me to be the best version of myself. Although you probably hated us most of the time, thank you for being the best leader on this crazy journey. I know you're going to be even more successful in the future. Tina, thank you for always being the funnest to be around. I will always remember our car ride to States this year, but remember, whatever was said in the car stays in the car. You always brighten my day at school or practice, even just talking to you. Vanessa, you were always a pure ray of sunshine whenever you were around, even when you were criticizing how bad our motions were that day. Thank you for everything, and I hope you have your whole army of baby pigs someday. Sarah, thank you for always believing in me. The days that I was down on myself, you always knew how to talk me through and lift me back up. Also, thank you for letting me be a part of Braylee and Conley's lives for so long. I will always think of them as my bonus sisters and you as a bonus mom. Austin Ravenscroft, thank you for always pushing me to be my best when I tumbled. Thank you for always pushing me to be my best. When I tumbled at your mom's gym when I was little, she always threatened me with having to take a class with you. I used to think you were the meanest person ever, but as I got older, the tables turned and I needed you. Freshman year, I decided to reach out and ask about taking your class again, and that was the best decision I could have made. You made me into the athlete I am today, and I cannot thank you enough. Henry Newby, thank you for always being the most positive person I've ever met and giving me the best years of my dance life. You always made me feel as part of a family, and your classes were my escape from reality. Thank you for inspiring me to be a better person every day. My family always told me to reach for the stars. What they didn't realize is they were the ones who helped me achieve all the goals I had set for myself and more. Aunt Krista, thank you for always being so supportive in anything I do. Even though you can't always be here, I know that you will never fail to show your support, even if it's through a Facebook post. Matthew, thank you for being my best friend and being one of my first tumbling coaches. You got me through the roughest times in my life, and you never fail to give me the best advice, even when you're 200 miles away at med school. Luke, thank you for inspiring me to be a better person because of everything you do. We need more people like you in the world right now, and you always do amazing things. Aunt Tammy, thank you for making my childhood so memorable. I will always remember our four-wheeler rides, McDonald's runs, and finding all the bread in the house to feed the ducks. I know that I can come to you for anything along the lines of a hairstylist question, clear through life advice. Pappy Yen, you're the strongest person I've ever met in my life. No matter what life throws at you, you never give up. You're one of my biggest inspirations, and I look up to you so much. Grandma Carol, thank you for being the most understanding person in my life. Whether I'm having a good day or bad, I know you will always be right by my side. Sorry, guys. Your love never goes unnoticed, and you've helped me through the roughest patches of my life. Pappy Bob, thank you for always supporting me, no matter if it's a dance competition, a football game, or even senior night recognition. I know that you'll be there. Also, thank you for making the best grilled cheese and watching Little Bear with me whenever I had a hard day at primary school. I know you're missing someone just as much as I am right now, so if there was one person that I wish that could be here tonight, it would be Grandma Kay. My goal in life is to always make her proud. I know she's looking down on us tonight and smiling. She was the reason I had a love for school, because every evening she would make sure I knew my spelling words and made me read my story from my reading book for the week. She had the biggest heart, and I always hoped that I could be half the person she was. Even when she got really sick, she would still be in the front row in her wheelchair in anything I would do. Her just showing up, even if it wasn't for the full time, meant the world to me. No matter how much time passes, I will always be her girl. Patrick, thank you for healing me in every way possible and being the person who understands everything about me. Thank you for supporting me in literally everything I've done, and I don't know what I ever did right to deserve someone like you. I'm forever grateful you chose me, and thank you for sharing your amazing family with me. I love you guys. Mark, thank you for always pushing me to be my best and giving me tough love to get where I am today. Thank you for teaching me how to drive a Camaro, taking me on late night drives, blasting music, teaching me how to drive a boat, and making me like the outdoors a little bit more than I did. No matter how down life gets me or how crazy it can get, you always know how to fix it. Also, Barb and Alan, thank you for treating me like your own and always making sure I matter. Ava, I never believed anyone. Oh no, I just looked at her. I shouldn't have made that mistake. I never believed anyone when they said one day we would need each other and become best friends. Turns out you were the person I needed most. I'm so proud of everything you've done, and I'm excited to see where life takes you. Sorry, guys. Never forget that no matter how far I may be, I'm only one call away when you need me. I'll always be your big sister. Never forget, oh, sorry guys, missed that. Divorce is one of the worst things that could happen to a family. Unfortunately, that happened, but I'm lucky enough to have the best parents in the world who are mature enough to co-parent to give me the most fulfilling and exciting life. I would never be half the person I am without them guiding me through. Mom, I don't know where to begin. You provided me with the best example of what kind of woman I wanted to be in life. You were the person I always looked up to, and I'm so lucky when people say that I look and act just like you. You started my love for cheer and dance. I was lucky enough to have you as my first cheer coach up until the 8th grade, and was heartbroken when I had to leave you behind and move on to high school. When I think of cheerleading, I think of the bond we shared over it and the time we got to spend together, even if it was to show me up on how good you can do the fight song. You were always so hard on me, but I finally realized it was to push me to be the best version of myself. I know we may not get along all the time, but it's because we are the same person. I will admit that you were almost always right about everything and everyone. You always made sure I know my worth and didn't let people walk all over me. I never get to give you the credit you deserve, so I just wanted to tell you that I wouldn't be here without you as a role model. Thank you for always spoiling me, gossiping about the drama of the week, and showing up to anything I was a part of. I know you think I'm a brat, but I love you always. Dad, I have no words. You were always my voice of reason and picked me up when I would fall down. I love any time I get to spend with you, including our trips to Petersburg for tumbling class, the Morgan Wallen concert, where we sang our hearts out, or even just going to baseball games together. These are just a few of so many memories I will cherish forever. Have you ever heard anyone say that showing up matters? Well, that was never in question for me. You showed up for anything and everything I was in, even if I was behind the scenes. Your actions never went unnoticed, and I wish there were more people like you in this world. You will always be my hero in guiding me through life with the best example of what I want to be. I will forever be your little girl no matter how old I get. I love you. Katherine Church is a legacy. She created the opportunity for 3 young women to be recognized for their outstanding academic and athletic abilities, along with also serving in our community. I will always have a love for giving back to others. From a young age, my parents introduced me to the value of generosity and giving back to the community. They taught me that the importance of helping those in need and making a positive impact in the world. This lesson has stayed with me throughout my life, and I strive to live by it every day. I encourage everyone to do the same thing in life. Thank you to everyone who supported me throughout this journey, and congratulations to Amaya and Michaela.
I think your mom wants a picture.
I can't look at him. Thank you.
Amaya.
Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am humbled to stand before you tonight as a Katherine Church nominee. Congratulations to my fellow nominees and friends, Sydney Lannon and Michaela Gillespie. You are both so deserving of this recognition for everything you've done and will continue to do throughout your lives, and I'm excited to see what your future contains. I would like to take a moment to thank the men and women who have helped keep the Katherine Church Award a tradition at Kaiser High School. Thank you to the Rotary Club, Moose Lodge 662, Principal Dr. Ravenscroft, Assistant Principals Mrs. Droppelman and Mrs. Dupuis, Mineral County Superintendent of Schools Mr. Troy Ravenscroft, the Board of Education, and all of the Kaiser High School faculty, staff, and volunteers. I am honored to be nominated for this prestigious award, but this isn't about me. This is about Mrs. Katherine Church and living up to her legacy. She was truly a woman that inspired many. She was an active member in the Rotary Club, an excellent educator, and a proud member of her church community. Her teaching career spanned many years and many generations, as she taught at the elementary, secondary, and college levels. Hearing of her many years in education, I aspire to be as great of an educator as she once was. She was known to live a life of integrity, service, and determination. I strive to be an ounce of the woman that she was. To be recognized with an award for displaying characteristics of leadership, determination, and humility is an amazing accomplishment that I could not have done without the help of these great people guiding me in the correct direction. Coach Brian and Coach Megan, thank you for believing in me when no one else did, from picture of the days to snack runs before practice, you guys deserve much more credit than you are given. You taught me how to keep going even when I wanted to give up. Win or lose, you have taught me the importance of sportsmanship and respect. Off the court, you have been great role models for not only me, but all of the girls a part of the team. Coach Blow, I will never forget the time we talked in the hallway, and you told me, and I quote, "I know you're a nice girl and everybody loves you, but you have to be mean and tough on the court." And I really did try. I respect your dedication to the sports that you coach, from your long nights watching film or even staying until late at night for extra practice time. Thank you for all that you've done. Coach Dawson, although you haven't been my coach for very long, that means nothing compared to my enormous amount of respect for you. And I know he isn't here tonight due to the track meet, but I told him I'd make sure that my dad recorded it for me, or at least took enough pictures to turn it into a stop-motion video for him to watch. Mrs. Umstott, thank you for making English my favorite subject and always believing in me. You have inspired me to be an educator myself, specifically English. Also, if it wasn't for you, this speech would sound like a bunch of random thoughts put together, and don't worry, it's in MLA format. Mr. Whiteman, he also couldn't attend because of our track meet, but I'll be sure that he hears this, which he did this morning. Thank you for the countless talks and advice you've given me over the past 4 years and in the 7 times that I took your class. I genuinely don't think any other teacher can do what you do. No matter how hectic things are or how unorganized programs are sometimes, you still figure out a way to make it happen. Without theater class, I would be mumbling throughout this speech and staring straight down at my paper with zero confidence. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Grammy and Pap, thank you for instilling in me the importance of faith and showing me unconditional love. You're my biggest fans. Whether you can make it to an event or not, I know you're always supporting me from wherever you are. Livy, thank you for being my best friend. From Taylor Swift-filled road trips to deep talks in the middle of the night, I know I can always come to you about anything. Hold on. Jacob, thank you for the nonstop check-ins and being the most supportive big brother a girl could ask for. To my dad, thank you for always seeing my potential. You pushed me to excel in athletics, strive for academic excellence, and inspired me, a great work ethic that made all of this possible. However, most importantly, you have taught me to always carry myself with a positive attitude, and I'm grateful for the numerous lessons you've shared with me so that I can also help others to do the same. To my mom, thank you for your unconditional love and unwavering support. Your sacrifices have not gone unnoticed, and I'm forever grateful for the countless hours you've dedicated to guiding me on this path. You have shown me good morals and instilled in me great values that I will follow for the rest of my life. Your encouragement is what has gotten me through, and I cannot thank you enough. Friends, classmates, and community members, let us challenge ourselves to live up to the admirable characteristics that Mrs. Katherine Church had shown in her lifetime. Let us strive to be selfless, courageous, and determined humans, inspiring others to follow in our footsteps. Thank you, and God bless.
Good evening, everyone. We gather here to honor Miss Katherine Church, a respected, longtime Kaiser resident, educator, and musician. I'm truly honored and humbled to stand before you as a nominee for this prestigious Katherine Church Award, and alongside 2 of my very best friends who are more deserving of this award. This honor holds a special place in my heart as it represents the recognition of not only my achievements, but also the incredible support and guidance I've received from all of you. Tonight, I want to express my deepest gratitude to the Rotary Club, the Monroe County Board of Education, Superintendent Troy Ravenscroft, Principal Dr. Ravenscroft, Ms. Droppelman, Ms. DePuy, and Kaiser High School for continuing this tradition every year. I would also like to thank Moose Lodge 662 for providing us with dinner and location for this evening's ceremony. First and foremost, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to God for the blessings and opportunity that have led me to this moment. I believe that every achievement and opportunity I've had is a result of His guidance and grace. His unwavering support has been a constant source of strength throughout my journey. So thank you, God, for always believing in me and for the countless blessings in my life. Next, I would like to thank all the Mineral County School employees who have contributed to my success. At a young age, I was able to attend Burlington Elementary School, where I experienced such a great start. Thank you to Miss Mona Lemasters, who has been by my side since pre-K. She ignited my love for learning and provided me a nurturing environment. Her dedication and passion for teaching made a lasting impact on my educational journey. From Kaiser Middle School, I would like to thank Mr. Whitaker for creating an environment where it was fun to come and learn. Even though most of the time we got distracted and started talking about sports and all the drama, that made it fun too. Thank you for having the patience with me when I asked you a million questions because I had no idea where to even start the math problem. Your enthusiasm and encouragement inspired me to develop a love for math. Next, I would like to thank some of my high school teachers. Miss Powell, thank you for your dedication to Key Club. You allowed not only myself, but many other students to participate in fun service learning activities. These experiences have incredibly impactful and have taught me so much beyond the classroom. From volunteering at the primary school to helping local animal shelters to participating in blood drives have given me the opportunity to make a positive difference in our community while also developing important skills. Mr. and Mrs. Denny, I can never thank you enough for being there to answer my questions, whether it was for math or scholarship questions. You have provided me with valuable insights and offered a helping hand whenever I needed it. Mr. Zaffron, every time I step into your class, I know I'm in for a challenge, but also know that I'll come out with a wealth of knowledge. You have taught me that not everything comes effortlessly and that studying is key. Your enthusiasm for chemistry and teaching style is exceptional, and it has made a world of difference in understanding of chem. One thing that I will always remember from your class is when you said, choose a job you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life. Not only have you taught me chemistry, but you have helped me found my decision on my career path, so thank you. Chapin, thank you for being there to capture such enjoyable moments for my teammates and I. The past 4 years, it's been amazing to look up and see your camera even at the games that are hours away. Thank you. Now on to my coaches. First, I would like to start by thanking my volleyball coach, Brian Kessner. My sophomore year, you stepped up and became the coach for the JV volleyball team. I always remember wondering to this day if you knew what you've gotten yourself into with dealing with a bunch of teenage girls. Well, honestly, you fit right in and taught me so much about the sport of volleyball. Not only have you provided me with the skills and knowledge of the game, but you have also been a constant source of laughter. One thing that never failed to bring a smile to my face was the jokes you always make about my height. You have a remarkable ability to find humor in every situation, including my vertically challenged moments on the court. Thank you for always coming to practice with a positive attitude and your motivational speeches that helped us stay motivated even during tough matches. Coach Megan, even though you have never fully had the chance to coach me, you were always my favorite person to talk to when coming off the court. Our conversations were always the best, and I'm so thankful that we could always come to you when we had a problem. You honestly have taught me to have a voice, whether it was at practice or during a match. You allowed your players to have an input on what we think would be best for the team, which allowed us to come together. Lastly, thank you for always talking to Coach Brian and to letting me play the front row in the times that I wanted to. Coach Blow, from the moment I stepped on the court, you pushed me to reach new heights. You have pushed my teammates and myself to be the best we can be. Whether it was running 15s to simple little drills, you always told us to go 1,000%, because the little things will always come into play when you get into close games. Even though we didn't win every game, it was fun. The late night shoot-arounds, the fun bus trips, and making it to states would never have been possible if it wasn't for you. Thank you for pushing us hard enough to get to states, because the memories will last a lifetime. Now moving on from basketball, everyone knows that softball is my absolute favorite sport. It's been such an incredible journey, and I owe a huge thank you. Okay. Thanks to my amazing coaches, Cody, Colton, Matt, Rodney, and DJ. These guys have been more than just coaches to me. They have become family who have pushed me to enjoy the game even more. I'd like to thank Matt for always being the guy to make people laugh, whether it was from your jokes in the dugout to the rap battles we had in the house at the beach. You always try your best to make the most out of every day we have together. Colton, thank you for stepping up to coach my junior year. You have always been there to support me when I get into a hitting slump and tell me that it's going to be okay and we'll work on it the next day. Your support has made me comfortable and always taught me that when I fail, to keep pushing to be better. Rodney and DJ, you have been there for me since 10U travel ball. You guys, Riley and Taylor, have become family to me. Thank you for the many lessons of pitching and hitting. You have not only taught me the technical aspect of the game, but also taught me the important values of teamwork and earned sportsmanship. Cody, even though we argue many practices and games, you're my favorite coach. You have pushed me to be the best. I can come to practice knowing that I have someone that isn't afraid to tell me what I'm doing wrong. Also, I appreciate you letting me always fill you in on the drama and the problems that happen during my day, because I know you will always have some kind of input. Next, I would like to shout out some of my closest friends, Kylie and Ivy, for being by my side throughout my whole high school experience. These two friends have brought me so much joy and laughter into my life, both in and out of school. They have this incredible ability to turn even the most ordinary moments into unforgettable memories. Kylie and Ivy have been there for me through my ups and downs and have seen me at my absolute lowest, but have always provided me with support and remind me to always stay true to myself. Haley and Cora, thank you for both always inviting me to join you at youth group and helping me strengthen my connection with Jesus. Your kindness has made a tremendous impact on my spiritual journey. Your friendship and guidance means the world to me. Thank you for opening the doors to this incredible opportunity and for being there with me every step of the day. I'm truly blessed to have you both in my life. Susie, I never thought that I would need a friend like you until now. Thank you for letting me tell you everything and always giving me advice even if I don't want to hear the truth. You are such an amazing person, and I am so glad that I have found someone like you who is willing to always be by my side and battle through the hard days of softball with me. Lily. As some of you may know, we have had our fair share in disagreements and arguments. The story of memory that nobody will forget is the night when I stayed at Sydney's house. And they locked me outside because it was a tradition to do every year someone new came. After that whole thing, we argued, and our parents argued, and we didn't speak for many months. It was a random day when we realized, and I missed having my best friend in my life. It took us both a while to trust each other again, but as we've grown older and matured, our bond became unbreakable. Lily has become more than just a cousin to me. She's my best friend. We've shared countless adventures, laughter, car crashes in Green Granny, and tears together. Through thick and thin, we've always had each other's backs. And now as I prepare to embark on this new chapter and head off to college, we're both experiencing hard times. But I want you to know that even though I'll be physically away at college, our bond will remain unbreakable. Mandy, thank you for raising such an amazing person and allowing me to hang out with your family, whether it was going to football games with you or allowing me to crash your family dinners. I will always love you and your amazing personality. Next, I would like to thank my Aunt Jenny, Uncle Nathan, Peyton, Hunter, Emma, Cody, and Courtney. My aunt is like my second mom. She is always there to offer guidance, wisdom, and a listening ear. She has been there for me through thick and thin. Thank you for letting me stay at your house many days when I was younger and treating me as your own. Now that I have grown up, you are someone that I look up to. You have pushed through the bad experiences that you have had in life to get the happy ending that you have always deserved, and I'm so proud of you. My cousins are like my partners in crime. We have shared countless adventures and laughs, from getting shot in the face with a BB gun to getting my arm broken for playing tag. Every moment together is always fun. One thing I'm most thankful for is you both bringing Emma and Courtney into my life. Being the only teenage girl in our family was quite boring, but now I am so happy to be able to share some female relation with them. Thank you for always being such an important part of my life, for always being there and making every moment unforgettable. Keep pushing in life, because I know you will all do great things. Nana and Pappy. When my dad left at a young age, it was a difficult time for our family. but my grandparents stepped in without hesitation, providing love, stability, and a sense of belonging. It wasn't just during the tough times that you guys showed up. You were here for every game, every performance, and every school achievement. Rain or shine, you were always in the stands, cheering me on with pride and love. Pappy, you have spent countless hours on the softball field throwing balls at me to hit and teaching me to never give up and that I should believe in myself. Ever since I remember, you have stressed to me to work for the things that I want in life, and nothing comes easy. You are such an amazing person who I will continue to look up to and get guidance from. Nana, thank you for always being there for me, to watch me excel in sports, bring me my school stuff when I forget it, and to yell at Pappy when you think he's being too hard on me. Thank you for always having my back and only having positive things to say. Your belief in me has pushed me to reach for the stars and to never give up. Thank you for both teaching me the true meaning of family, and that in the end your family will be the only ones there to support you when times get tough. I am forever grateful for both of you. Bailey and Blazin, even though you may not fully understand the words that I'm saying right now, I want you to know that my love for you both knows no bounds. You guys have brought a little light into our family that shines so brightly, and I'm incredibly lucky to have you as my sister and brother. Being raised as an only child has its perks, but when you guys came along, it was a whole new level of happiness. Suddenly I have playmates and partners in crime. You have already made such a positive impact on my life, and I can't wait to see the incredible individuals you will become. Brian, when I was 12 years old, you entered my life, and from that moment on, you have been the best father figure I could have ever asked for. From the beginning, you embraced me with open arms and treated me as your own. I cherish the memories we have created together, especially our fishing adventures. I know how much you enjoyed these moments, and I want you to know that I treasure them too. As I grow older, I understand that things change. But please know that these memories will hold a special place in my heart. Not only have you been there for me, but you've also been an incredible partner to my mom. The love and respect you have for each other is truly inspiring, and I'm grateful to witness such a beautiful relationship. Thank you for being there for me every step of the way, and I'm so lucky to have you as a father figure. Lastly, my mom. Growing up, it wasn't always easy for us. It was always just my mom and I against the world. We lived in a humble trailer, but my mom's love and determination created a home filled with warmth and endless possibilities. Despite the challenges, my mom never let anything hold her back. She worked tirelessly day in and day out to provide for all of us, and all of her hard work has certainly paid off. Today, at the age of 18, we have a beautiful new house, I have a shiny new car, and most importantly, we have a complete and loving family. It's not just the material things that make our family complete. It's the love, support, and unwavering belief my mom has showed every step of the way. She has been my biggest cheerleader and my best friend. Mom, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you have done for me. You taught me the importance of hard work, determination, and never giving up on my dreams. Even though we bicker and fight, I am forever grateful for you, and I love you more than words can express. Thank you to everyone.
And I'm the lucky guy who gets to follow that up, right? One more time, give all three of these ladies another round of applause. It takes a lot of bravery to stand up here, a lot of courage, and I commend all three of you for what you did tonight. In closing, I'm a history nerd, okay? So I'm going to give you guys a quick little history lesson for those who are willing to sit here for 2 more minutes and listen to me. By show of hands, does anybody know who Agrippina is? Not one hand, right? The first empress of the Roman Empire. The first empress of the Roman Empire. A woman who did incredible, heroic things. She vanquished armies. She thwarted assassination attempts. She was the only woman in the history of ever to have a seat on the Roman Senate, a place dominated only by men. She was the first woman to ever have her face put on Roman coinage. Okay, this woman was a big deal. But we don't know much about her, to be honest. And why is that? Because she was a woman in Rome. An empress, yes, but a woman in Rome all the same. The little bit that we do know about Agrippina comes from the stories that are told about the men that were in the orbit around her life. And if you guys know anything about Roman history at all, it's unfortunate the men she was surrounded by, her uncle Caligula and her son Nero, two of the worst emperors ever. But that's a story for another day. But her story is only told by those men around her. Agrippina never got to tell her story. You ladies have been given a blessing to be born in an incredible country like this, where women and young ladies just like yourselves have the ability, that you have the power to write your own stories, to influence the world around you through your words and your actions. In other words, you ladies have the opportunity to write your own story, and it continues from here tonight. So I want to wish all three of you congratulations. Best of luck in all of your future endeavors. On behalf of the Kaiser Rotary Club, we want to extend our sincerest thanks to Moose Lodge 662, the Women of the Moose for the wonderful dinner tonight, AR Sticks for the keychains, Martin's for the gift cards. Thank you all for attending. Good night, and God bless everybody.